Hello and welcome to another episode of Goa 365's Story Behind the Story. Now, the tourism season is going to pick up probably by next month if we are being optimistic, and the shacks come up on the beaches. But whenever it comes up, it's going to come up. And this year, I don't know, from what surveys we get, it's going to be a very, very good tourism season. Possibly let the panelists agree or disagree with that, but to introduce a very, very senior panel on this thing, I will start off with Nilesh Bab Shah from TTAG, Chief. Nilesh Bab, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Ben.
Ernest Dias, TCI and Sita.
Thank you.
Very senior person in the tourism industry, and this time important component because we have to see how the charter tourists actually come up in Goa. Ernest Bab, welcome to our show. Gaurish Babdon, very senior hotelier, he's the president of the Goa Hotel and Restaurants Association, closely connected with most of the the powers that run tourism in Goa. Gaurish Bab, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
And last but not the least, my good friend Cruz Bab Cardos, the president
Thank you.
of the Shack Owners Welfare Association. Now, Cruz especially is very crucial here because every time the tourism, season starts, something about the shacks has to come up. Hopefully, we'll see when the shacks come up. Cruz Bab, you are crucial to this panel.
Thank you.
And welcome. Nilesh Bab, explain to us what is the general situation which you expect at present you expect for this upcoming season.
I feel the season will be good. Of course, we'll not have walkover as we've been having for last 1 or 2 years because our neighboring markets have already opened up. Competition is growing within India also and outside India also. Secondly, the weddings, which is one of the component of the industry in Goa. This year, because of Adhik Mas, the weddings have been postponed. So, wedding season will start only post November, end of November onwards. So, that has been delayed. So, those challenges are there. But there are a lot of conferences mice happening right now in Goa. So, if you see, there's a lot of even if I just when I was coming across, I saw people with the T-shirts. They must be from some conference. So there are back-to-back conferences even in South Goa and North Goa. Add to it, we have more frequency of the destinations within India which has been adding up to our network of the flights. So which also gives tier 2, tier 3, tier connections into Goa. Addition to this charters, which will of course my friend Ernest will give more highlight. We have now more scheduled flights into Goa compared to last year. So that also brings in lot of foreign tourists directly into Goa because Goa is incoming market. So if any international flight comes, it is not only for attracting Goan market, but even the international traffic which they look into it. I believe I was just sitting with someone right now from one of the airline industry. There is some low-cost airline from Oman or other places also likely to start in next 1.5 months. So I think we are adding to the frequency. So overall, main thing to any tourism industry is the connectivity, and Goa is on top as far as air connectivity is concerned. Recently, even our Nitin Gadkari ji made a statement that I think by Ganesh Chaturthi they want to start the coastal road from Mumbai to Goa, and he was talking 4.5 hours. Forget 4.5 hours, even if it is 6.5 hours, there will be a lot of good connectivity as far as road is concerned. With trains, I don't have to say you have Vande Bharat, you have the special trains which are running, and all are gives added boost to the tourism industry into Goa. And of course by road also we have good coach services, and there are additions to that from across India. It is even you have coaches coming from Hyderabad, even from Ahmedabad on certain days. Furthest point. So besides of course regular from Bengaluru, Mumbai, Pune. So all those connectivity is there. And overall, I think because of overall infrastructure which is already in place, Goa as a brand is bound to grow, and thanks to overall the ecosystem with the industry, which I give a full credit to industry, because way they market themselves, way they position Goa, it helps into creating brand Goa, and they go extra miles into having the innovation. Like recently, one of the operators got all ladies operator throughout India in offices. He got almost 65-70 ladies entrepreneurs into Goa who are into travel. So either they are the counter staff or they are one man, two man operators who operate from throughout India who are selling Goa. So with this type of efforts put in by industry, and of course the Goa way it has been positioned, I think we have here we only need to grow with the more number of inventory adding to the hotels. I think it's about to grow. The challenges will be plenty. So main thing is we have now GST on the casino coming from 1st October. So there will be some impact for sure, as far, because we see in and around Panjim hotels, even the flights, we get lot of tourists which come in besides doing the usual sea, sun and sand. They also come for the experience gaming available into Goa. So looking into that, there will be challenges. Wedding season is postponed, as I told you. We have a Russian and Ukraine problem. Because of that, there is a more challenges from Russia side also, tourists coming in. But I think overall the industry should be in quite positive note.
Thanks, Nilesh Bab. Nilesh Bab, now one thing I agree with Nilesh Bab on one very important thing here. We are, from what our surveys, I'm not talking about governments, what our surveys are, huge amounts are going to be coming in now. But low end and top end, middle end, there is nothing. There is no noise only. So this is where you come in, the charters and all. So what is your thing on that? See, it's going to be 70-30, no doubt. 70 low end, when I mean, like, you know, people are going to, and 30 top end. But that's enough to fill up both segments. What about the middle level hotels and all, which are the most, including shacks?
I must say that your survey is right, because as of now, throughout the season, the 5-star hotels are showing sold out situations.
Huge.
On many dates, right from October. Although Nilesh Bab says that weddings are postponed to November, I have received from hotels stop sales from
Even
October
me.
onwards,
Yes.
right up to March.
Yes.
So this talks about the conference business, the MICE business, and the weddings. So domestic business to the 5 stars are rocking, and thanks to the
Correct.
new Mopa Airport and the Double Airport. Then we talk of the lower level, the base level tourists which come driving on their own from neighboring states and stay in places like Kalangut and Kandoli in cheap accommodation and going to these veg biryani places.
100 rupees veg
Yeah,
biryani,
100
100
rupees. So that will continue. You know, that will continue. You'll see them at the long weekends. My worry is the mid segment.
Exactly, it's a lot of people's worry.
And the charter business always had large numbers going to this mid segment. I'm talking about 2-star, 3-star, 4-star hotels.
Yes.
And right now, if you see the domestic market from business to Goa is rocking. Charter business is going to come, but
Not yet started.
no, it will start in mid-October, but there's going to be a drop from Russia. From UK, you will have the TUI flight coming in. We are hopeful that the Kazakhstan flight bookings have started coming in, so we'll have Kazakh. We are seriously talking to an operator from Israel. So from November, they are talking about coming in. So these are the operators who talk about charters. Now we have the Air India flight which comes from Gatwick. That's thrice a week. But that is usually with our local Goans who have settled there and coming on holidays. But the good thing is we have a lot of airlines from the Gulf areas which have started operations to Goa, like Bahrain, Oman, Abu Dhabi. So these airlines will help the FIT business. The FIT business which comes to India or comes to Goa, now they have the option of coming into Goa, spending time in Goa, and then going to another state in India and flying out. Because these airlines, they operate from all the metros, and Goa has now become an additional. So for that reason, I feel there is a chance that this mid segment also, with the FIT business and with some numbers coming from the charters, will help fill up the gap.
Hard numbers, hard surveys don't show this. You are talking about
I'm
based
hopeful.
on experience.
No, I am hopeful.
I just want to know from where the
No, I am talking because right now we are receiving bookings from that mid segment, both in the charter business as well as in the FIT business.
compared to 2 years back or compared to 3 years back.
I would say before pre-COVID was much better.
How much difference?
I would say 50%.
Yes, absolutely. Because what happens if you see the last year's charter number, overall we got 70,000. Like pre-COVID we used to get almost 2 lakh 10, 2 lakh 20, 2 lakh 30.
20,
So we are on one
That's a
third.
big
And
difference.
if Russia going down, it will be very difficult for even the Israeli and other markets to cover up.
Gaurish Bab, what is your take on this? Though your market, I think, is going to boom for this April, March, means the
Yeah,
local-
first let me compliment your channel for having taken up this issue at the right time, because we are in the beginning of this tourism season, and as Nilesh Bab and Ernest has rightly said, that overall Goa is doing well.
Yes. very
And I hope everything goes well because government is very serious in promoting Goa as a very nice destination. There are also a lot of road shows which are lined up now in October in Middle East, one after the another. I believe there's one in a road show in Oman, Saudi, and other right from 3rd, 5th of October onwards. So, we have a very great young leader, tourism minister, Rohan Kaute, who's taking up a good call, and with the noble leadership of Dr. Pramod Sawant also. First thing, I would compliment the government because the infrastructure which are in place, like what you talk about, the best roads, the 2 good airports now. One is Mopa, as Ernest has said, that we can expect
Mopa is
more.
brilliant, by the way.
But we can
Really
expect
nice, really
more
nice.
flights
Absolutely.
coming in, the charter flights coming in. There's a boost for people. Earlier, but we were only with one single airport, which was again there were restrictions there. So with that infrastructure, our tourism can go up. Now there are small teething problems like taxi issues, and there are some SAC issues, and all those things are there. But we need to put those things in place. Even in any industry, there are some issues always. But in tourism business, even the smallest person gets a pie of the share. It's not only like the charter. Even if you charter the taxi fellow, the bread fellow, the operator, everyone will be a part of that business. But they shouldn't forget that charter is there, but you are also getting a business because of charter. If there's a domestic coming at my hotel also, the laundry fellow and the rickshaw fellow, the florist, everybody gets
Even
that
the chai
pie.
dukan at the
Yeah.
side today, people go
So,
and sit.
so it's a win-win situation. If they go out for shopping, they don't go and see which shop they go. They go on buying from everywhere. Maybe a small handicraft or cashew nuts and all. So there's a collection for taxis, there's a collection for everything. The business is run. So here I believe, like Nilesh has said, the tourism should go well. Because we are looking at wedding destination, we're looking at, there's again national games happening in Goa.
Yeah,
There's a big boost. Infrastructure is getting ready, and once you see the national games happening, we had couple of meetings of G20. Again, there were many people coming in. So our full entire Goa had a good facelift. So things are in the right direction, and probably if it's not been disturbed, people are working very hard, tourism should grow well.
Gaurish Bab, absolutely. Now, two points that you brought up. Cruise, that's your cue. Gaurish Bab, yes, please.
See, now every season when the policy is being formed or framed, we struggle with the policy.
Why every year?
See, not every year, but now
Why?
since
I've been
2013, it is 3 years licenses have been issued.
Oh,
But
okay.
this is now 3 years term. Obviously, government have extended 1 year, and last time was the 4th year. So now this time we have submitted our proposal to the government, saying that we have given our proposal how the policy should be, and even High Court have noticed that Sheikh licenses have been issued late.
So things will be sorted out?
Well, now High Court said you must issue license 1 month or 2 months in advance. That is in July or August, which we have been demanding with the government, form the policy. but till today nothing has been done. Policy is out, but it is we oppose some clauses or some condition they have put, and the criteria now, one criteria is, they say if you are above 60 years of age, you cannot apply for shack, which we oppose, because there are shack owners who have been running shacks since 70s. You cannot just throw them out.
Okay.
And there was a clause saying that if you are applying, no other member of your family can apply.
I see.
So that is hitting us most. So now you tell me, now their children were working in the shack. They were family run shacks. If the father is out, what about children? Now they're coming as newcomers now.
Yeah, but there are issues. What Cruz, I would rather say, there are many snakes which have been subletted. They're given to either the Delhiite or some other fellow.
I do agree with you, and I do agree with you, and that's the reason we have been demanding. You see, our memorandum, we always say, stop subletting, stop subletting. But if you are bringing in newcomers, there is no policy for newcomers, because see, you have to support them. If you are bringing newcomers, you have to support them. You have to financially support them. Otherwise,
who? You want government?
Government have to support them.
Okay.
No, but give them loan. Otherwise, how they will survive? If they don't have finance, then what? Who is going to finance? Then obviously somebody have to finance them. So what they are doing, people are taking advantage of the situation, and then they sublet. And then we have been blamed. Genuine check. If you give, we will give number of checks. These are the people who have been running check for many years. And if they sublet, I am responsible. We will give the names. Okay, you give it. Yeah. If they sublet, then we will complain and throw them out.
Okay, but I'll come back to you, because this sublet thing also we
Yes,
have been discussing
anytime,
before.
anytime.
No, I'll come back to you on that. Nilesh Babu, second point which got Rich Babu is your pet, taxis. That is your pet. I don't know how many times we've discussed it.
Basically, to be frank enough, I will openly admit that we are a little bit disappointed as far as the
Nothing's happened. What
taxis are
disappointed?
concerned.
Nothing's happened since the last discussion.
Our initial request when we met, when new government took over, the Chief Minister, he said, just give me 3 months, we'll resolve the issue.
Chief Minister or
To
Mohammed?
start, no, to Chief Minister,
CM,
because when
okay.
we met him as an industry, so idea was that you open up for the app-based taxi. I'm not saying specifically which company to give or not to give. So idea was that if they would have given that, I think it would have been resolved. But one good thing which we have to compliment even Transport Minister on is on that Goa miles, which they are, it is ultimately a Goa
Government.
tourism baby,
Yeah.
GTDC baby. So initially they were discouraging them. So but now they have come out with this taxi patron scheme, Chief Minister taxi patron scheme. I think that can go, if worked out properly, it can go a long way into resolving to certain extent this transport issue into Goa. So here what happens, they identify people, anybody who has a license or anybody who is intent to run taxi business, they has been identified by the in and around people by anyone, and they can approach the Goa miles. So on their CVV score, CIBIL score, sorry, the bank will finance them. The seed money which is required is been given by the Goa miles. So whatever basic money is to start with required is given by Goa miles, and the loans are directly paid, and the Goa miles come in picture that we guarantee giving you business. So initially they gave 55 taxis in Panjim. Other day, 1 month back they gave 100 taxis in Vasco, which they want to upscale up to 1000 taxis. And these all are CNG run, and there will be other models which will add to it. So if we have 1000 taxis, adding it up, because see, when we are talking about adding more flights, we are talking about adding more rooms, then definitely we need to talk about adding more people for transportation. So it does not even stop there. What we are looking at is there should be a proper bus transport. So now
I was
KTC,
gonna come to that.
so KTC is
Yes.
come in the picture.
Yes.
So now unfortunately KTC is there, they are doing good job, but they are not designated place to pick up or drop. So these are small things which needs to come up, because if you have a idea in place, but you need to have systems in place. So if you have a proper system to pick up at each point, because see, when we are talking about developing interland tourism, when we are talking about tourism beyond beaches, we need to have a proper connectivity in our villages. So when villages, when they go, don't expect people going village. They will go. All our money will go by taxis and go there. So we require good transport system getting into the village, and we have talked immense number of time on these topics. So even if you call any industrial association, they will also say that they have a problem of getting people, because from interiors nobody wants to come work in industry because of lack of transport. So looking into that, I think there has to be systemic solution to this as far as the transport is concerned. And mark my words, if transport thing is resolved, I think we are resolving a major challenge which tourism industry is facing, because if it has to grow, then it has to grow from all aspects. So if anybody wants to go to Kalangut, now when we talk about say budget hotels or say 3-star hotels, now 3-star hotels charges 3,500 rupees per day. Your transport cost for getting it from the railway station or from here, if it is going to cost you 2,500, 3,000 rupees, the purpose itself is lost. So we need to address, because we have an infrastructure in place for the budget hotels. Means I am talking about 3-star mid segment which we are talking about, but we have to support that system by having a good transport system, because ultimately tourists, if they has to come, he requires some place where to be there. Secondly, as we are on this point, I would like to add, now we are seeing so many accidents. Why they are happening? There are two counts. There are too many vehicles on the road. Goa has one of the highest statistics, the highest number of vehicles on the road. Why it's having? Because we don't have good transport system. Secondly, we are seeing so many other accidents where locals are also, why it's happening? Because we don't have a good, like in Mumbai, nobody will dare to drive with even the permitted amount of liquor, because we have a good transport system available. And mark my words, if we have a good transport system available, each Goan will start using it. So I think it is a challenge which Goa needs to address holistically. Just looking at it is not just a touristic problem, it is a local problem also, and locals also has to understand that to support this system, that we require a proper transport system for Goa.
Absolutely. Now this is another discussion which is very, very apt, because only some routes very good public transportation. But this is where, but I wanted to talk to Ernest based on the tourist aspect and taxis. Now see, hotels, budget, I'm talking about 2-3-star, not 4-star comes almost in luxury, but for 3.5 star. There you all take buses to pick up the passengers. You give service, there's a host, hostess, X, Y, Z. You go there, you get stopped, and some every now and then we hear. Now, if there is no proper, now assume I'm coming and I'm spending 10,000 on a weekend in a hotel. I cannot spend 5,000 on cabs here.
Right.
So that is a big issue. Are you all not facing this issue?
See, today Goa is competing with the world.
Absolutely.
You have destinations, similar destinations, charter destinations, where transport facility is excellent.
Metro.
They have a choice.
Yes.
And you go to these destinations. Now, these destinations are competing with Goa. So, why is Goa losing out? Why are there some charter companies which have pulled out of Goa? One of the reasons is this, because we have no proper public transport system, especially for the 2 and 3-star hotels. People who are paying, like charter rates are very reasonable. I'm talking about 1,500, 2,000 rupees per night. Are they going to pay 3,000, 4,000 rupees? Even if a client from St. Regis comes to Benauli, to a shack, ask cruise, how much they will charge to drop him back?
The cab bill will be more
than the shack rate. Now this is a worry, because Goa as a destination is losing out.
Absolutely.
We should not lose out. We should, and I must admit here that both the tourism minister and the transport minister at the start of their term were very serious about taking this forward. They said, we will try to streamline this, we will try to get things in order, because they understand that tourism is our bread and butter, mining closed. But still we see that it doesn't work. And if we don't have proper taxi or transport system, I for one am very pessimistic.
Gaurish Bab, I'd give you 30 seconds to counter this before we go in for a small break.
Yeah, I would just add certain things what Nilesh has said. Basically,
about the
taxis and transport. See, what has happened is government run transport company like Kadamba you cannot expect it to be totally, because it's going into loss making. He talked about the hinterland. You cannot have continuous transport available at the hinterland because the footfalls are very few. But Goa is blessed with excellent two-wheeler motorcycles. We have got pilots nowhere in the country where you can get rent-back also. Rent-back cars are available. If there's a group or a family, they can always hire a rent-back car. Whereas, as Anas said, for charters and all, they hire up buses and all.
That's the problem. Then the clash with the taxi people.
No, that has to be sorted out because High Court has already given a judgment. It's only the law and order situation. I cannot force Glenn what you need to have, what type of transport. Everybody's independent of choosing what type of transport, whether he wants a limousine, if he wants a four-wheeler ordinary car, or wants to go by bus. It's my individual. You cannot force. Somebody cannot say that you have to take my taxi and go in.
It's happening, but no.
But it's law and order. People have to come. If you have a good law and order situation, then things. But it's all political motivated. It will take some time, because there we are going to take a beating.
Huge.
If this is happening, there are other destinations who are ready to take our clients.
They have taken on.
They have already taken off.
taken.
Lots have taken off. Now forget about to slightly divert from the topic. Sorry, give me 2 minutes. But for example, everybody's talking about now tourism, taxis and all. Now if I have a good taxi service, like in Bombay, I never use my own vehicle. I'll use even here if I have to. Why would I use your own vehicle? So much of load gets lessened, no?
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, we are going in for a small break. Interesting, but I still want to come back to cruise on a specific topic. Yeah, keep watching Goa 365.